Good afternoon, everyone. I know it has been a very long session, so I'll just keep it brief. I represent First Solar, which is world's one of the largest solar PV module manufacturing company. I'll just give a very short overview that what the First Solar stands for. Basically, it provides the three solutions. It's a global vertically integrated company providing the modules. It provides EPC at a global level and also the developer. So here right now I am representing as a developer. We have a lot of projects in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and I'll be speaking on behalf of developers that what are the challenges we face and how to come out of those bottlenecks. I'll just keep it to the point. I'll just skip all these things. Just a very brief view. This particular company was formed in 1999, and then it has many records to it. First of all was the price. Previously the price of the solar PV module was in the range of $1 per watt, and it was the first to breach that particular level, and today the prices are in the range of 50 to 55 cents per watt. And in terms of the efficiency, today First Solar holds the record of 21% cell efficiency, which translates to 17% module efficiencies. Of course, these products are already made in the laboratories and under extensive trials, and in a couple of years it will be available in the market also. This is the presence. It's a global company. Everywhere it presents, and coming interestingly that it has got a world's largest solar power plant, that is a 550 megawatt solar desert. Now the reason what we have got here is that we have got almost 200 megawatt projects in the state of Telangana and Andhra. Out of that, 20 megawatt projects are under the advanced stage, and it is almost nearing completion. Maybe in the next 2 weeks it will be commissioning. We have got two projects in the state of Andhra. One is 40 megawatt in the Hindupur, and the second one is another 40 megawatt in the Pungnuru. And currently the land acquisition is going on. Now, as a developer, there are certain challenges for which we need a lot of support from the government, and the first is the availability of the land. As you know that the solar power requires a lot of land, maybe in the range of 4 to 5 acres per megawatt, and getting a contiguous land is a challenge. As we move ahead, getting the land is becoming more and more difficult, and that is one of the challenge which needs to be resolved collectively if we have to look for 100 gigawatt target to be achieved for the country. Second bottleneck is the power evacuation. It is both in terms of the connectivity. The substations does not have the spare capacity, so even if you have got a land nearby, you can't connect to the substation. Another thing is the transmission line. There is a lot of issues with respect to the ROWs and other related issues. So these are the two key challenges or the two key bottlenecks which needs to be collectively resolved if we need to make the big progress in terms of the adding the capacity in the solar. Another thing what we feel that the visibility of timeline of government in terms of the solar park is a very, very important thing. Of course, today the Mr. Secretary, Mr. Sanjay Jain has specified the targets for the Andhra that next 5 years what is going to be the capacity addition. If it is backed up by the firm commitments, then all the investors and developers can plan their investment, so that they know for sure that this much of capacity addition is going to be in this particular state, and they can plan their resources accordingly. What happens sometimes, you are not very sure that when that policy will be announced, when that particular bid will come into the auction, and then that creates a lot of confusion in the mind of the investors. Another important thing is we feel that the competitive bidding is the best route to achieve these targets. It also gives the price discovery mechanism, and also helps avoiding any litigation in the future, because there are some people who prefer that it could be either the feed-in tariff or the first come first serve basis, but the experience all over the world is that it has never worked for any market in the long term, and the best way to find the best price is going through the competitive bidding. So we request all the authorities that whatever policies are being followed today, that is inviting the bids for the competitive bidding, is probably the best and the most transparent manner of adding the capacity for each state. Another important point which we think is of great importance for the industry as a whole is to improve the quality and reliability standard for the PV technology. More importantly, in the modules and also for the balance of plant systems. Today, because of the lot of price pressures, there are many modules available from the China or maybe some other countries which upfront could be very cheap, but there is no guarantee that those modules will work for 25 years. What is our request is that we should have a very stringent mechanism where the quality standards for the module should be defined, and also we should make sure that India is a harsh country in terms of it has got a high temperature, high humidity. So it's not only the minimum certification, but they should be the stringent requirement that the modules should perform for 25 years in the Indian conditions. And there are technologies, there are tests, there are beyond the IEC testing, there are some special tests like thresher test, long-term sequential test, Atlas 25 plus test, maybe the sand resistance test. These are the tests which should come into the specification of the respective bids, so that it ensures that collectively the solar industry does not die down after a couple of years because of the bad quality of the module and the balance of the plant systems. Also, going ahead in the same line, there should be a robust monitoring and certification mechanism for all key components, and probably there should also be a certification or the in-site inspection regarding the quality, both in terms of the product and also in terms of the installed quality. There should be some mechanism or there should be certain clauses in the specification, so that it ensures that the whatever plants are built, they are built to the quality and last long its lifetime. Of course, a lot of discussion has taken place in terms of the grid stability. Yes, we should have a mechanism for the forecasting the both wind as well as the solar energy. I know it's difficult as on date, a lot of research has to go into that, a lot of modeling needs to be made, but going ahead when we will be having a 100 gigawatt renewable energy, I think it's a need of the day that we have to invest today in terms of the forecasting and the scheduling mechanism, so that there is a grid stability as a whole. There are also certain systems like we ourselves have got a plant control systems which we use for all the plant in the US, which controls the power output of a plant depending upon the grid requirement. Today in India, because there is no grid code applicable for the solar or the wind, typically nobody uses those advanced control systems. But the point is that technology is available, only thing is it is at certain cost, but to improve the grid availability, probably we need to look long term rather than the short term measures. Just a couple of points. Now, what is First Solar vision for AP and India? As far as the module supply, we have already more than 700 megawatt of the module supply in the country, and globally we have almost more than 10 gigawatt of the modules. So we are committed to supply the very high quality reliable module at a competitive cost for this 100 gigawatt solar power mission of India. In terms of the development, we already have more than 200 megawatt of the plant in Telangana and Andhra, and in the RE Invest we have committed that 5,000 megawatt portfolio by the year 2019. So whenever the next policy is announced by Andhra, we will be very actively participating and contributing as a developer and investor in the state of Andhra Pradesh. We are also working on the energy access in the distributed generation, although it is on a trial basis only, because as of now the mechanism of financing these small projects as well as basically the revenue stream is not very viable. So we are working on certain models on the trial basis, but yes, going ahead we need to look into this market also, where we should encourage the distributed generation of the solar plants. And last but not the least, we are very much looking ahead to be part of the Make in India. We have our plans ready to start manufacturing facilities in India. we are looking for the long-term demand and the favorable conditions and the favorable state policies. If that happens, in a short time, we can take the decision to set up the manufacturing facility in India itself. That's all I need to share. Thank you.